I want to do a quick 1 year update on my water pump. Today is August the 2nd, and throughout all of July, we've been dealing with a drought here in the area. My reservoir has been about 16 inches lower than it is right now, but we had a wonderful rain this morning. Filled it back up. As I actually had gotten to the point where there was not enough head pressure to keep the pump running 24 hours a day. It would only run for short periods. So I've been waiting for a time where the pump would keep running during the video so I could demo it. It had ran for a solid 11 months without stopping, except for a couple of times when the intake pipe was covered with leaves. And I usually walk down here every day anyway, so just a few minutes, a few times to pull the leaves off the intake pipe, and it started itself right back up once the water flowed. The water did great over the winter. I wanted to test and see in my area, which we spend a couple of months going in and out of freezing temperatures every winter. And I ran the water up the hill using a surface laid garden hose, and was able to keep my chickens watered all winter long, and it never froze up with a constant flow of water. So I'm thinking through some ideas on how to use this to put a never-ending supply of fresh water to my chickens. Right now I've got a 55-gallon barrel reservoir and a float actuated pan that they can drink out of. Thinking through some things there. Through most of this summer, through most of the drought, I was able to keep my garden irrigated. I was able to put a soaker hose on this, and it would actually build up enough pressure. It would shoot water 5 feet high on that soaker hose. Where a lot of people have been struggling or paying for water through this drought, I've had a fairly decent harvest already this year. More to come on that. Lessons learned. I built everything using brass parts in the beginning. Galvanized steel input pipes, valves were brass. The part that's sitting there doing the clacking, the waste valve, wound up putting stainless steel on it based on some other information that the brass would only last about 3 years, stainless steel will go about 10. And what I'm also seeing, if you remember in my last video, I calculated about 280 to 300 pounds of pressure hits these valves when it closes. And over time, you can see that knob bouncing now. The brass is worn out, and it is cutting a little bit of my flow right now. So after a year, the first video I said I was getting a gallon every 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Right before the drought made the pump unreliable, when the water was still low but the pump ran constantly, I was getting a gallon in 4 minutes. I did do some playing with these pipes and messed up my dam a little bit, and you'll see a lot of extra water coming through. Now that I know that this works and has real potential, I'm going to come back in with concrete and try to build a concrete dam inset with some of the rocks, make it look natural instead of ugly. But I'm ready to start putting some money and some more work into this. Because it ran so long, so reliably, I could see putting a significantly sized reservoir up there and never running out of water, at least in this area. So it's been pretty neat. I've really enjoyed working on this. The amount of time I actually have invested in this in the last year is gonna be at most 10 hours. There just is no work. It keeps working. I came down about once a month and would open the white pipe and let it blow out the water. Over time, that pipe will continually fill up with water, and there will no longer be an air pocket in it. So you have to come and let the water come out of it. And then you restart the pipe, and you've invested 10 minutes in it. Taking the leaves out 2 or 3 minutes at most in there. I did not have to get in the water during the winter and get hypothermia. This water comes out of this spring at about, I'm going to guess, in the upper 60s on temperature, and in the winter it's just even colder. But it's been pretty neat, and it's actually created a little bit of a biosphere down here. The frogs love this. Crawfish, minnows are in here. It's been pretty neat. I did try to put some smallmouth bass in here. They survived for a while until something found them. But it's been a lot of fun, and I do recommend this if you've got a place where your water falls. This can be done very easily, very low time investment, very low monetary investment, and it can keep your garden alive at least. We're going to see. I've got some ideas about actually using this for my home water supply. So maybe more in the future, but thank you for watching.